This video will help you install your Boat Lift Buddy. Keep the instructions included in the box and read all warnings and instructions before you start installation. Check out the tools required list. We recommend that you have all your tools collected before you begin installation. The Boat Lift Buddy fits all sizes, makes, and models of boat lift wheels in any configuration. First, we'll put together the torque arm. You'll need both pieces of the torque arm, the 4/4 inch by 3/8 inch bolts, and a 3/8 inch socket or wrench. Put the pieces of the torque arm together. Insert the 2/4 inch bolts and hand tighten. Use your 3/8 inch socket or wrench to tighten the bolts to 10 foot-pounds. Flip the torque arm. Insert the remaining 1/4 inch bolts. Again, you'll hand tighten the bolts, then torque the bolts to 10 foot-pounds. Now we'll attach the motor assembly to the torque arm. You'll need the drive assembly, torque arm, and the provided 5/8 inch by 1.5 inch bolt and 5/8 inch locking nut. Align the torque arm and the bottom of the motor assembly. Insert the 5/8 inch bolt. Thread the 5/8 inch locking nut onto the bolt and hand tighten. The completed subassembly should look like this. Next, you'll need the offset bracket, 2 3/8 inch bolts, and 1 spacer bar. Insert the spacer bar into the offset bracket so that all holes are aligned. Insert the 3/8 inch bolts and hand tighten. The goal is to get the end of the bolt flush with the back of the spacer bar. There should be room for the spacer bar to move on the length of the bolts. Now put the mounting bracket together. This process will look a lot like what we just did with the offset bracket. You'll need the mounting bracket, 2 3/8 inch bolts, and the remaining spacer bar. Put the spacer bar into the mounting bracket. Insert the 3/8 inch bolts and hand tighten. Just like the last subassembly, the bolt ends should be flush with the back of the spacer bar with room for the spacer bar to move. Some lifts may only need the mounting bracket to properly position the torque arm. In this configuration, the mounting bracket will be parallel to the lift wheel. You'll just need the mounting bracket if the torque arm will be positioned 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the lift wheel. Most lifts will need both the mounting bracket and the offset bracket. In this application, the mounting bracket will be perpendicular to the lift wheel and the offset bracket will be parallel. You can adjust the offset bracket so that the torque arm will end up in the right position. The bracket should position the torque arm 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the lift wheel. Loosely fasten a hose clamp to help position the bracket. Insert the torque arm into the mounting bracket. Slide the torque arm assembly and mounting bracket until the drive wheel is positioned at 10 o'clock on the lift wheel. For best performance and traction, we recommend the 10 o'clock position. If that's not an option, you can also use the 2 o'clock position. You can mount the bracket with either hose clamps or self-tapping screws. We recommend that you use self-tapping screws. However, if you don't want holes in your lift, you can also mount the bracket using hose clamps and a socket or flathead screwdriver. Hold the mounting bracket in place and secure the top of the bracket. Secure the second hose clamp underneath the bracket. To use self-tapping screws, you'll need a hose clamp and the self-tapping screws. Put the hose clamp on top of the mounting bracket, slide the mounting bracket into position, and tighten the hose clamp. Place the first self-tapping screw in the bottom hole of the mounting bracket. Use the 7/16 socket to install the screw. Remove the hose clamp from the top of the bracket. Use the second self-tapping screw to finish fastening the mounting bracket to the lift. Insert and position the torque arm. The torque arm position should allow the drive wheel to meet the lift wheel at a 45-degree angle. Use a 9/16 socket to secure the torque arm in the mounting bracket or offset bracket. Use a 15/16 socket and either a 15/16 wrench or adjustable wrench to torque the bolt to 20 foot-pounds. Reduce the torque by 1/4 turn. There are multiple holes in the torque arm so that you can properly tension the bungee to apply constant, even pressure on the wheel. Connect the bungee where it will need to stretch 2 to 3 inches to reach the hole in the motor assembly. If you notice wheel slippage after installation, increase the bungee tension. If you're using a 12-volt boat lift buddy, we've included 15 feet of battery cable so that you can power your lift using the battery in your boat or a 12-volt battery on the dock. Always connect the red positive wire to the battery first. Connect the black negative wire to the battery. Ensure the best connection by tightening both nuts with a socket wrench. Attach the quick connectors to power the unit. If you're using a 120-volt unit, you can power your boat lift buddy using shore power. Only use 120-volt boat lift buddy models on an electrical circuit that has ground fault interrupter protection. Once you have power connected to the unit, test for wheel slippage. Adjust the bungee if necessary. It may take some time for the drive wheel to get a good seat on the lift wheel. Thanks for choosing Extreme Max products. We'd love to connect with you on social media, through our website, via email or snail mail, or even face-to-face at a trade show. Who knows, we may even meet up on the water sometime.